Ricky Dicky, Doodah Rhymes, Boom Shakalaka, Boom Shaka.
The Walking Dead TV series was once a beloved TV show by many. It spawned a couple of spin-offs and also has games about it, my favorite being this one. Today, it still has a dedicated fan base, but it is definitely not what it once was. The writers have made stupid decisions that fans hated, and a decline in viewership and bad word of mouth led to a slow decline for the series. What mistakes did the writers make? Was this downfall deserved? What might the future look like for the Walking Dead franchise? The Walking Dead franchise first began as a comic series in which the first comic was released on October 8th, 2003, almost a decade before the first episode of the show aired. A couple of years later, on Halloween night of 2010, the first episode of the series would air. Both comic fans and people wanting to check out The Walking Dead tuned in, and the pilot was received very well by fans. People loved the cast of characters, and the show's first season as a whole was very fast-paced, and the effects were really good, and it intrigued both comic and normal fans, and they wanted more. Fans felt mixed about season 2. A group of people loved the slower, drama type of season, while others didn't like it, complaining about them only staying at the farm and comparing the drama to a soap opera. In my opinion, it was great. The slower pace made the final few episodes feel extra impactful. During this season, however, the show's original showrunner, Frank Darabont, was fired from the show, and although this seemed like bad news, the show actually went on to Season 3 is when the show started to get popular. The season starts off amazingly and out of nowhere hits us as one of its best episodes of all time, in which Lori sadly dies while giving birth. This season also introduces the Governor, the show's first main villain, and the whole first half of the season is just peak television, very fast paced, and it truly shows how psychopathic the Governor is. And although the second half of the season definitely dipped in quality, the show proved itself to be really great, and people were very excited for Season 4. Season 4 at first felt weird, but it was intense, because the Governor was nowhere to be seen. After 5 episodes, however, he is seen again and goes through a little redemption phase kind of, before doing this. The Season 4 middle episode, Too Far Gone, truly showed us that these writers are capable of doing amazing shit, and the ending of the episode was very sad and satisfying at the same time. After this episode, though, began a small trend in the writing. The trend would be that when the group was separated, each episode would focus on different characters, some having good episodes and others having some flat out terrible episodes. People complained that they had to wait like 3 weeks or sometimes even a month just to see where a certain group ended off. However, when the story shifts back to Rick's group, the finale gets really good and marks the beginning of the Terminus arc. Many people believe Season 5 was the absolute peak of The Walking Dead. The first episode itself got 17.3 million people tuning into the premiere of the first episode, and the first 3 episodes were very solid. However, we would see another dip in quality during the hospital arc, which was stupid and only served to kill off Beth. The final episodes, however, were very good and kept people's hopes up. Season 6 was perhaps the best season, but also began the decline of the show. The writers made extremely stupid decisions, which I will talk about later. The first 3 episodes were really great, but in the 3rd episode, they would make their first big mistake: Glenn's fake-out death. People felt cheated because his death seemed to only serve for shock value, and he wasn't revealed to be alive after the fake-out for a month or 4 episodes later, which really infuriated fans. The writers would show us another masterpiece with No Way Out, which really ramped up the tension for the second half of Season 6. In this episode, Negan is also mentioned for the first time, and for the whole second half of the season, he seems to always loom in the shadows. The second half of the season was really great, until the finale came. The final episode is very good, I'm not gonna lie. It also introduces Negan in the most bone-chilling way possible. Negan goes on a long monologue in which he he finally states that he will kill one person in the group because the group killed many of his people. This is where the next huge mistake came. The season 6 cliffhanger. After seeing that, people were pissed because they had to wait 6 months for the death to be revealed, and it also seemed very cheap to hype up the next season. The season 7 premiere is probably the best episode in the whole series, but it is probably the episode that killed the series too. Abraham is revealed to be the one that's killed, and when Daryl decides to charge at Negan, Negan does this.
Back to it.
Some people really hated that Glenn died and decided to quit the show after that. But most people left when we all found out
what the fuck is this piece of shit?
That the entirety of season 7 paired with season 8 were straight up ass. Those seasons dragged out the war with Negan for way too long, and in the middle of season 8 Carl just dies. It comes out of nowhere too. After this diarrhea that Scott Pimple served us, he decided to quit the show and gave it to Angela Kang. And let me tell you, she made season 9 great. I didn't finish it because I kind of just got bored of the show, but she did a good job at bringing the series back. But the damage was already done, and especially with the departure of Andrew Lincoln, the show's viewership died down by a lot. The show's finale in season 11 got 2 million people to watch, which is nothing compared to the 17 millions that tuned in to the season 5 premiere. This truly shows that the series had died down and nothing was able to save it. The franchise also has a shit ton of spin-offs, with most being, trash, booty ass. The only ones people seem to be hyped for are the Rick and Michonne one and the Daryl Dixon one, which is doing okay so far. People seem to have liked the season finale. After many and a shit of seasons, and many fan favorite characters dying or leaving the show, it seems like The Walking Dead is now a shell of what it used to be. But who knows? The Daryl Dixon spinoff seems to be doing okay, and the Rick and Michonne one might be good too. But who knows what the future has in store? Let's just hope that maybe the franchise recovers from its historic downfall. Thanks for watching.
That's all. What's next?